Coming up on Wolverine Sports Magazine, the Wolverines hit the road for the final time this season. We'll also revisit one of the most eye-popping plays of the year. Men's and women's hoops combine for a 5-0 start. Hockey hosts another ranked team at Yost. Wrestling opens its 102nd season with a major NCAA rule change. And cross-country preps for nationals. We have that and more for your viewing pleasure.
Wolverine Sports Magazine is presented by Meyer.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. Football is at Maryland this weekend for its final road trip of the year before hosting Ohio State to wrap up the regular season. The other story we're following, Jim Harbaugh, he will attend court on Friday in Ann Arbor, and the possibility exists of a temporary restraining order regarding his Big Ten suspension. He talked about that and more at his Monday news conference.
I'm going to talk on Friday. Just looking for that opportunity. Due process. Not looking for special treatment. Not looking for a popularity contest. Just looking for the merit of what the case is. I senior in high school, I had a civics class, and talked about government, justice, and what I took away from that class was that you're innocent until proven guilty. That was 40 years ago, but like that opportunity.
How do you balance preparing for that and getting the team ready for Saturday?
Oh, it'd be a one-track mind. Getting ready for Saturday, getting ready for the game, coaching the team, getting them prepared up. So I didn't get any thought about, I guess we'll let the judge decide, It's got to be America's team. It's got to be America's team. America loves a team that beats the odds, beats the adversity, overcomes what the naysayers and, critics, so-called experts think. That's my favorite kind of team. And, watching it from that view on the television, it was finally people get to see what I see every day, in these players and these coaches.
Later, the runaway train that is Big Kenneth Grant. What a start by the men's basketball team, 3-0, averaging 94 points per game. Their latest outing Monday in New York City, where they hammered St. John's in the Gavitt tip-off games. The Wolverines used an 11-3 run to close out the first half, taking a 10-point lead at the break, a lead they would never give up. Doug McDaniel and Namari Burnett each set career bests in scoring with 26 and 21 points. McDaniel added 6 rebounds and 7 assists, while Burnett scored all 21 of his points in the first half, shooting 8 for 8 from the field, including 4 of 4 from three-point range. Michigan extends its winning streak at MSG to 11 straight games. They'll host Long Beach State Friday night at Chrysler Center. The women's basketball team is headed to the Bahamas to compete in the Battle for Atlantis. They'll open up Saturday at 5 o'clock against Middle Tennessee State. In game number 2, it's either DePaul or South Dakota. The Wolverines improved to 2-0 on the young season Tuesday night after beating Oakland 80-39 at Chrysler. 11 players scored for Michigan, with senior Cam Williams recording the team's first double-double of the year. The senior popped in 12 points and grabbed 12 rebounds.
I'm pretty comfortable. I think I have a few years under my belt, and I think just whether that's in practice, it's also a mentality. So every day in practice, I'm just trying to, duck in hard, establish my presence every game, every practice.
Layla Felia added 10 points, while Alyssa Crockett and Whitney Solom each posted career bests with 8 and 6 points respectively. Missouri grad transfer Lauren Hansen scored the last bucket of the first half and the first 5 points of the third quarter, also dishing out a career best 8 helpers.
Definitely it's just a growth period, especially in the beginning. New position, new team, new style of play, so I think I have really great teammates, great coaches that help me to do that. So I feel good about it.
She's really been a wing a lot of her career, so she's transitioning into this point guard position, but she is embracing it. She pretty much is in my office every day. How can I get better, coach? What can I work on? Can I watch film with you? What do you want from me today? These are my 3 goals of the week. I mean, it's every day. She wants to be great, and when you have a player that wants to be great and is willing to learn, the sky's the limit.
Feisty the competitor. I want to win whatever it takes, whether that's making plays or scoring the ball or getting stops on the defensive end.
Wolverine Sports Magazine is presented by Meyer and brought to you in part by Alro Steel, by Abso Pure Water, and by Grand Traverse Resort.
The 12th ranked hockey team is home once again this weekend to take on number 18 Penn State. The Wolverines coming off a weekend set against Minnesota, where they took 2 of the 6 points available in the Big Ten standings. Michigan outshot Minnesota 40-27 Friday and led 3-1 thanks to goals from Rutger McGroarty, Dylan Duke, and Frank Nazer. But the Wolverines' late-game struggles continued after they gave up a pair of third-period goals to drop the series opener 4-3. On Saturday, Nazer and Nick Moldenhauer each scored, and the Wolverines led 2-1 after 40 minutes. The Gophers tied things up in the third period to force overtime. The game went to a shootout where goalie Jake Barcheski turned away all 3 attempts from Minnesota. Seamus Casey provided the lone goal, and what a goal it was to secure the extra point for the Maize and Blue.
The analytics, like everything tells us that we played really good hockey, and then there's just little blips where we have a 5-second letdown and it's in the back of our net. So I think we deserve more. Maybe we're not getting the bounces, but we can't rely on that. We have to keep finding ways to get better.
Michigan hosts the Nittany Lions Friday and Saturday. Like the Minnesota series, this one is always interesting.
I think every team in the Big Ten's tough. Obviously, we ended this team's season last year, so they have something to prove. They create a lot of chaos. They punt pucks out. They get in a lot of foot races. I think they lead the country in shot attempts every year, so they create a lot of chaos through that in the offensive zone and just looking to get bounces and be on top, yeah.
So you got to stay positive when things aren't going your way, and we know we have way more to give, and just got to stick to the plan and listen to our coaches and stuff. But we all trust each other, so it's gonna all work out and pan out. We know that, so just kind of sticking to the plan.
Women's soccer was eliminated in the opening round of the NCAA tournament November 10th at Princeton. The Wolverines came close 5 minutes in when Jenna Lang hit the goal post. Each team hitting the iron twice in this one. The Tigers scored the only tally of the game in the 80th minute. It's the one shot goalie Stephanie Sparkowski did not stop in 8 attempts. Michigan finishes the season with a 7-7-4 record.
For growth, you got to have success and failure. You know, you can't have one without the other. And I think how we approach and utilize our experiences that we have this season will really propel our team moving forward. You know, we can't look at a setback as something that's going to hold us back, but something that's going to push us forward.
The volleyball team was swept in 3 sets at Penn State's Rec Hall on Friday night. Jackie Boney led the offensive attack with 8 kills, while Hannah Grant, Kendall Murray, and Maddie Cochran all had 10 digs against the 19th-ranked Nittany Lions. They bounced back with a 4-set victory at Rutgers on Sunday. Murray led the Wolverines with a career-high 24 kills. Morgan Burt posted 45 assists and 2 aces. A huge opportunity awaits this week. They visit top-ranked Nebraska Friday night, and you can watch the match at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Big Ten Network. The Wrestling Wolverines open their dual meet season Friday night in New York City against Columbia. It's the 102nd campaign in program history. The Wolverines rank number 6 in the country and return 2 All-Americans from last year's club.
We're going to have probably 7 or 8 new faces in the lineup. So really excited to see this group together for the first time, competing in a dual meet. Hard-working group, a lot of veteran experience, bringing a lot of energy and intensity to this fall in our preseason. Big point scorers. These guys know how to win.
With a new season comes change, a big one in fact, thanks to the NCAA Rules Committee.
One of the biggest rule changes this year was going to a 3-point takedown. It was always 2 points, and escapes were 1 point, reversal was 2 points. What I've seen so far is you can build a lead pretty quickly with the 3-point takedown, and if you're down, you can come back pretty quickly with a 3-point takedown. So, exciting new dynamic, and I'm looking forward to see how it plays out with these guys.
Let's pivot to cross country. The men finished third at the regionals last weekend in Madison, Wisconsin. That effort wrapped up a berth in the NCAA championships in Charlottesville, Virginia. Once again, grad student Tom Brady paced the Wolverines with a third-place finish overall, less than a second behind the winner. 4 Wolverines finished in the top 25 to help secure an at-large bid to nationals this weekend. Butler took the regional title. Notre Dame won the women's regional with Michigan finishing 4th. Kayla Windemuller led the way for the Maize and Blue with an 8th-place individual finish. She qualified for Nats, but the Wolverines did not receive a team invite.
Wolverine Sports Magazine is presented by Meyer and brought to you in part by Alro Steel.
Back to football, where the Wolverines faced their biggest test of the season so far last weekend at Penn State, and they responded in a big way. Its #1 ranked defense showing why it's the stingiest unit in the entire country. Facing its toughest opponent of the season Saturday, Michigan responded in a big way. The defense defending its ranking as the nation's stingiest outfit.
It was pretty great. It was a great win. A lot of people saying that we hadn't played any competition before then. So just coming into that game, it just put a chip on our shoulders and made us want to play harder.
Of all the plays at Penn State, this one may be the most impressive. Grant at 340-ish pounds, chasing down Nittany Lions running back Katron Allen.
I thought he was going to come to my gap, the A gap that I was holding, but he bounced out to the C gap, so it was 2 gaps away from me. And Mike B was on the side of me, so I kind of pushed him and kind of tripped him. But I was like, oh, in the snap, he didn't trip him. And then I knew Rob was going to do his job and come down and just make a miss, but not get a piece of him. So I just hawked it down.
To look up and see Kent Grant tracking down running backs, 20, 30 yards down the field was crazy to see. It just goes to show his hustle and his relentless effort on the play, because, it started even before that. He could have gave up on the player, been like, we'll get him somehow. But that just shows that relentless pursuit to the ball by the defense. And then his, obviously, athleticism was able to get showcased.
The reaction to that play went viral.
They were pretty surprised, how surprised. They were saying I was moving really fast. But from my POV, I didn't think nothing about it. I just ran him down, so I had to line up and play again.
The play speaks to a bigger point about Grant's ongoing development and his value to the team.
Definitely during the start of the year, I told myself I'd cut down some weight and really get strong and just know situations in football, just understand football better. And I think my preparation in doing that has really helped throughout the season and just getting better as the weeks go on throughout the season.
The better Grant gets, the better this Michigan defense gets. And we're going to follow up with this. Defensive line coach Mike Elston met with the media midweek, and he was asked this question by Angelique Shengalis from the Detroit News.
Who's your fastest defensive lineman?
That'll be an argument after this weekend. Yeah, probably. I don't know. The guys will. Everybody argues who's the fastest, but KG. Right now, KG has got the fastest clip on film, on a game's clip. So we got to go with that one.
Competition is always a healthy thing, and I'm sure guys like Mason Graham and Chris Jenkins would like to line it up and decide it on the field. Well, that's our show for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time right here on Wolverine Sports Magazine.